Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to do something a little bit different. I've played a couple of Sims playthroughs on here before, but what I actually wanted to do today was do a build. So I wanted to do a speed build. This is my first time doing one, so I'm really excited. But the reason why I'm doing speed builds is, well, my guilty kind of pleasure when I'm feeling very anxious and I have a ton of stuff that I should otherwise be focusing on is speed building. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of react to some speed builds. I saw Little Simsy do a speed build for the apartments, and she had basically taken the apartments and making them kind of smaller. So this is me kind of going through. I've already sort of established like the shell for what I wanted to do. Before, this was a really massive space. It had like 2 bedrooms, but it had only like 1 bathroom. It's just like a lot of space, which I noticed is kind of like a problem in the Sims games. I accidentally deleted that exterior, which I'm not really proud about because I didn't realize that I would be unable to find like the brick on the exterior later. But you know, we all make mistakes sometimes. So this is me just trying to figure out kind of the layout for the bathroom and for also the bedrooms here. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of make something where there was like maybe a single family apartment on one side, but then there's like a family apartment on the other. So like you could have somebody with like a family with their kids maybe renting out like a little separate apartment, smaller apartment to like their bachelor uncle, for example. So I thought that that would be kind of like a cool idea. So this is just me still trying to like figure out the build, figure out where I want to set up the kitchen. I kind of knew that I wanted the kitchen in the main space, like as soon as you walk in the door, but this build does get a little bit claustrophobic at times. I did use the move objects tool, and I noticed that in some of like the future updates, what we're going to be getting is we are actually going to be getting like the ability to alt move like doors and windows and ladders, and I'm so excited for that because even though I haven't been playing The Sims 4 for very long, I have already been like severely missing some of those features. So this is just me kind of laying out the house. I decided that just for consistency's purposes, I was gonna keep the wood here. I think I might change it later. I am not entirely sure here, but this is just me trying to figure out this house. I believe I was trying to create like a backsplash for this wall over here. I'm kind of confused as to why like the apartments, why the apartments have like such tall walls, because it kind of makes it feel like a little awkward, a little empty. I always feel like there's some kind of space or there's something that should be on the walls. But like we can't add more windows to kind of fill up the space and like give it some sense of purpose. The only window that you can add in this particular apartment is the one that leads out to the patio. That's the only kind, otherwise you can't put anything on the exterior wall, which I think is kind of sucky. It provides like an interesting challenge sometimes, but other times I'm kind of like, ugh. So this is something that I do in a lot of my builds, but I like to do like an accent wall. So what I was doing here was I was trying to make a room that was for essentially like a teenager, and so I gave her like an accent wall on the side there just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. This is me trying to experiment with like different kinds of wood, but then I was sort of like, I don't think I want to do that. I'm trying to figure out like what I kind of want to do for the appliances here. So for the appliances, I was kind of like, I want to make the apartment with the kid to be like the nicer apartment, because theoretically this is like a family that owns the that owns the other apartment. Like they just rented out to like a family member, like a friend of the family or something. And then this is me discovering that, oh my god, this is how you can do the cabinets and like the corner pieces. Guys, I've been playing The Sims 4 for like a few months, and this took me way too long to figure out, and I felt like a total idiot. And then this is me trying to figure out how to like place things, and The Sims 4 is like extremely annoying with how it lets you place things, even with move objects on. So I'm pressing like 9, I'm pressing 0. I'm trying to like get cabinets in this space to make sense. I did it in another speed build. I've done about like 2. So yeah, this is very sad. This is very pathetic. Yeah, this is sad. I just can't figure it out. I think I gave up. No. I'm playing with the move objects cheat. I'm still just like, maybe move objects is the problem. It's not me. Yeah, so I'm continuing to like put in the counters and everything, and then this is when I realized, oh my god, this is how you do like the counter pieces, and I was so excited about that, bro. And so those are my counter pieces. I considered like making this an island. I think I was thinking about it for a minute, but then I think I decided against it because I do that constantly in my builds, and I don't want to keep doing that in my builds. So this is me just adding kind of some clutter. I'm trying to experiment with like, do I want to pop a color here in the wood for like the dish rack? These are some things from Parenthood, which I was kind of suspicious about this pack because everybody like kept saying how much they would enjoy it. And to be honest, the gameplay aspects of it, I'm kind of like, like parenting is kind of cool. But I feel like it doesn't impact my life, my Sims lives as much as I thought it would. So it kind of confuses me in that regard because like, you know, it says like your kids will go through phases, and like I've had so many, you know, I've raised so many families since because I was trying to really get a handle on the Parenthood pack and like kind of determine what sort of like, what does trauma do? Like if you have a really like abusive or mean parent, like what does that do to your sim? And like trying to figure out kind of what sort of phases they would go through. And like my Sims don't really go through like a lot of phases, I've noticed. One went through a phase where he just kind of dressed up like a bear all the time. And one went through a phase where she just wanted to play loud music all the time. And that was it. And that like, it only happened with 2 Sims, and that's out of like probably huge families that I've been playing with lately. Because I try and like build a family from the ground up, so I make them small and then I kind of move up from there. One of the things that I like to do is I like to make families where it's like one parent, like a single parent, and then their really young child. So I'll start the Sim off at a young age, and then I kind of like to see kind of the story as they work their way up. So this is the girls' room. So I was trying to make like a teenager's room, but I was kind of struggling on what necessarily to put in here, struggling with what kind of things a teenager would want in their room, because I think part of me was also really divided on whether or not I wanted this to be a teenager, or if I wanted this to be a teenager, or if I wanted this to just be like a young child. So this is me just kind of adding some clutter. I really love adding clutter to builds. I also figured out how to use the alt trick, which has saved my freaking life because it has amazed me when I've looked at like Sim Lissy's builds and seen like Sim Lissy like put so much clutter on a single surface, and I'm like, I can't even do that. Like it doesn't let me put down like 3 things, more than like 3 things, even with move objects. But it's really cool to see that here. So I was really excited to be able to kind of clutter that up. So she's got some makeup there, and I think she's got some other things on there that kind of characterize. So maybe she's supposed to be like a preteen, like adolescent. I was kind of playing with that idea. Now I'm discovering that like the bathroom layout is kind of weird here. So I was kind of like trying to twist the bathroom like a bunch of different ways, and part of me was just like, well, what should I do with this bathroom? I didn't think that there was enough space really for anybody to kind of make their way through. I don't really like how the sink is kind of in the center and then the toilet's like right up against the back wall. This is another thing that I struggle with in my Sims builds. I don't know why the toilet paper is always so high up on the wall. Like I try to use move objects, I try to use like that alt cheat tool, it didn't work. This is me like very painstakingly adding a soap dispenser to the sink, which I was so proud of myself for that. I was so excited about that. And then I'm just trying to add like some other kind of clutter in the main room. And so like I put some clothes underneath the bed just because maybe she's messy. I gave her a journal because that's one of the things that I like about like the Sims games is that the Sims Parenthood pack is that you can give them their own kind of personalized journal. So I really like that. And then I decided that because she's got like the arts and crafts thing, I was going to give her like an art easel so that she could work on that. Now for the parents' room, I hate this, but I make so many of my builds blue. Blue is like my go-to color. And I don't know why, and I hate it. I think it's just because it's just like a more calm and neutral color, like, and it's a lot less boring than like a white. So yeah, so I decided that the master bedroom didn't really have enough space. So this is me still trying to like reorganize this house, figure out what I want, figure out what's gonna work here. And we can't use the alt doors because otherwise I wouldn't have put that door so close to the wall. I decided I was going to put that there, just me moving around some things, possibly considering moving that back, but then I realized, oh, I think I actually keep that. I think I actually keep that just to give them a little bit more space in this room, which unfortunately gave them a little bit less space in the, gives them a little bit less space, you know, in like their living room. Like their living room is very, very tiny, but I don't really mind that so much because I think that they still have like a lot of space to work with here. Yeah, and so then this is me again, like playing with the clutter, trying to figure out what I want to do with the clutter. Trying to make sure everything is really arranged here. I'm very like, oh, this was an accident. I accidentally exited out. I freaked out. I thought that I hadn't saved. I was like almost in tears. I made this like, it's Sunday, and I made this on Saturday night, like around like 11 at night, because I wanted to just get a video up for the week. So I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, I lost this. And this is me trying to like give them some music and things like that. I really love the console tables in The Sims 4. I never realized like they were missing from my life until because the previous Sims game that I was used to playing with actually was The Sims 2. I did not play any of The Sims 3 except for like my one good friend in high school who like I only ever saw her like every so often or so, and the reason why I think I didn't get The Sims 3 is because I heard it was really hard on your computer. Also, I was just a really busy high school student, so I just skipped on playing The Sims 3, so really me playing The Sims 4 right now is kind of me just rediscovering my love for The Sims, which I absolutely love. Like, it's so fun. So then this is me going through, and I'm adding a range, and that looks like badass in my opinion. Like, I was really excited about that. So I think I'm still trying to figure out, I think I accidentally like had deleted my fire alarm earlier, so I'm doing that. For the parents, I decided that I would give them a TV because I felt bad that their space was like so small. And then this is me trying to figure out the backyard, and then this is me also realizing that I ruined the exterior wall. And so you can see I'm desperately going through this. This is why I didn't upload this build to the gallery, because this personally bothered me. Like, there's no brick that matches this brick from like the exterior brick. I have no clue. Maybe it's in like the stone thing. Sometimes I know in previous Sims games they used to mix like the stone and the brick together. But yeah, I was very depressed about that. Because it kind of ruins the build a little bit. It made me pretty sad. And then this is me just kind of figuring out what else I wanted to go out there, and then I decided I'm just gonna give them like some like gardening stuff to play with, because I thought that would be cute. I'm thinking I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I want to kind of clutter up that space, but then I just kind of disregarded that and I moved on. I'm working now on making the little living room space. So unfortunately there's not going to be enough room for the entire family to sit here, but I thought it was kind of cool that I could sort of make a little cozy area for a computer in the back so that they can all play games, they can get their stuff done, they can still like hang out. They've got a smaller TV out here just because I felt like I didn't want to make this build too expensive, and I was concerned that I was going to make it expensive. This is me kind of experimenting with other kind of forms of clutter, seeing if I could get like a coffee machine to sort of make that piece of clutter make sense. Because if you guys ever seen like a Sims game where maybe like they have like gardening tools lying around but there's like no gardening pots, like I don't like it when builds kind of have this sort of disjointed narrative. So I was trying to really keep up with this narrative, keep up with this idea that there was going to be like if they use, you know, if there's a thing of coffee rack, if there's a rack of coffee mugs, they should be using coffee, like they should have a coffee machine. And then this is me trying to create like really cool art. I am so jealous of people that can make like really cool art in The Sims. I actually kind of like that piece, so I just sort of framed the pair on either side of the big green leaf. And then this is me continuing to like add to the girls' room. But at this point, I'm not only just like getting tired, but I'm also like becoming more and more aware of like how much I'm actually putting in this room. So I think I kind of slow down in terms of the clutter. You can absolutely keep adding more clutter to this build to like make it look more realistic. I didn't bother to go through any hidden objects or like show live edit objects or anything, because I was just like, I really want this build to be basic, and I felt like it was kind of like cluttery enough. Yeah, and I'm trying to add like artwork here and there, trying to figure out like what else can I add to make this look visually interesting and appealing and homey. I'm very much a person where I feel like when I'm doing a Sims build, there has to be one piece of art in each section of the house. So there has to be one piece of art in like the children's room, there has to be one piece of art in the parents' bedroom, all that kind of thing. Now I'm moving on to the second apartment, which is weird. Like, this apartment is weird, guys, but I kind of wanted to go with the vibe that it was really a bad apartment. And then I remembered that I have to be aware of that little pipe there. So this is me just trying to be aware of the pipe, make sure that I don't like overcrowd this area, because otherwise they won't be able to repair the pipe, and that's going to be a problem. That's that. And then I think that what I do here is that, yep, I add that little mirror. And then again, I'm just trying to add like more clutter, more stuff to this space. I decided to give this person a bath cabinet, although I think in retrospect I probably wouldn't go with that again. I probably would go with a hamper there, or even that little parenthood like kind of laundry hamper, just to make it look a little messier. And then I was also really proud of myself here. I was able to add those toothbrushes there, so that was really fun for me. But yeah, this is kind of like the crappier apartment. It really does not have a lot of space. For a minute, I thought, oh my god, I could probably fit like 2 bedrooms in here. And then I was like, nope. Yeah, you can see, like, this is me trying to figure that out. And then I'm like, if I could do it, theoretically, but I think that it would only be like a single bed. And I was like, who wants to live in a single bed, you know, as an adult sim? Like, this isn't, I don't have the university pack, so it's not like they're a university student doing these things, so... yeah, and then I did give them the crappier kind of appliances, the moldier appliances, just again because I was concerned about sort of the money that this build would cost. I gave it that parenthood sink, and the reason why I did that is that I also wanted to just kind of play with this narrative that it was a terrible terrible place, so that you can eat at the island counter there. That's me kind of figuring out what I want to do there, trying to figure out how I'm gonna rearrange things. I think I do add some cabinets here just to try and make this look a little bit nicer. It's still a little bit low. I think I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do that, and I believe I did do that. Yeah, so I made it like small. I made small little cabinets all along that top wall there. And so now I'm moving on, trying to figure out like the desk space. So I did give this person a nice desk because I was like, maybe they're just like a young professional and that's more important to them. Like, speaking for me personally, I do not own a TV. I do not have a television set in my apartment. The placement of that bed actually does concern me because I don't know if a sim could actually get in there and like get to the bed. I think that they can. I think that they just have to kind of scooch. It's very uncomfortably tight. But they could do it. So again, this is kind of me like playing with this section. I decided that like there's this big blank space kind of back there, so I was like, it'd be funny if like the TV was an afterthought. Like they just don't use it, so I gave them like one little nice chair and a television, which I thought was kind of funny. And then they've got like their bookshelf in the bedroom. And then I was kind of looking at this and I was kind of like, the bathroom has such bold colors and the rest of the house looked really bland. So then I tried to experiment with ways that I could really bring some color to some other aspects of the build, just so that it didn't look like ugly, because I was like, the kitchen can be ugly, that's fine. You know, I feel like a lot of people have ugly kitchens in particularly cheap apartments. You know, the bathroom, I was fine with it having kind of awkward colors, but I was like, your bedroom is kind of like your place of pride. It's sort of something that's supposed to reflect you, especially like if you're playing a Sims game, you know, you want your Sims personality to stand out. You want it to kind of match the narrative of your Sims life. So I was trying to experiment here, give it some kind of different things. I did end up going with that chalk art, because I know even though it's chalk art, it does look like a very, very nice rug. And then I was trying to figure out like what hobbies this Sim has, and so I was like, I'll just give them like a little comedian mic. So they can either be a singer or they can be a comedian just kind of living in this apartment. And then I kind of like, because it sort of fits with my uncle's narrative. And so then this is my build, and then this is just kind of me going through the rooms, sort of showing them off. That's the bathroom, and then we're going over to the other house. And so, yeah, that is this speed build, everybody. So I hope that you enjoyed. I'm thinking about making more speed builds beyond the 2 that I have planned for this channel. Let me know if you have any kind of builds that you want me to work on in particular. I'm very excited to kind of just, with the blank space neighborhood that is Newcrest, I really kind of just want to make my own neighborhood in Newcrest. Part of me is really like tempted to make like a post-apocalyptic neighborhood in Newcrest, but I'm thinking about other things as well. So just let me know what you think. If you really like this video, please leave a like. It does help the channel out. Consider subscribing to the channel, and when you hit that subscribe button, be sure to also hit the notifications bell so you get updates on when I upload future episodes. And without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. Bye!